Hello everyone and welcome to Witches of the Moon. My name is Jen and I am your Tuesday hostess. Now this week we're talking about altars, the types, the uses, what you can put on them, all that good stuff. And so there are many ways to create an altar. You can create an altar in any room of your house. You can create an altar outside. You can have a traveling altar. You can have an altar that you put away and only get out whenever you're doing some kind of workings. So you can have an altar for your ancestors. You can have an altar for your gods or goddesses. You can have them separate from everything else. You can have a money altar. You can have an altar for the fairies, for the fae. You can have a healing altar. You can have a working altar. You can have an altar that you use for meditation. It's entirely up to you. You can have a kitchen altar if you wish. Whatever kind of altar that you want. And as far as what goes on an altar, it can be anything that you want. It doesn't have to be anything in particular. You can have shells to represent different things. You can have a regular cup from your kitchen, a regular bowl, you know, whatever you have on hand that just makes sense for you to use as an altar to represent the elements is really what it is. It doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. I don't follow any set rule as to what I have to have on my altar or what I don't have on my altar, because it changes from time to time. As you can see, I have a Buddha there. I have a little fairy door. I have a lot of crystal ball. I have a crystal ball. I have a couple of crystal balls, but only one is on the altar at the time. I have a wolf little figurine type thing that's on my altar that represents one of the totems that I worked with. I have a little plaque that my daughter purchased for me, and it kind of represents my mom as well. I do have things that represent my ancestors. I do have pictures of them up on the wall as well. So we kind of got that going on too. And yes, I do have a little voodoo doll here. This actually came from New Orleans. When I was there, I got one for my friend and I have that out because I need to do some things. But yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want, and you can change it up as much as you want. So what are some of the things that I like to do at my altar? Well, I do a lot of things at various different altars. It just depends on what it is. Like I said, I like to do some scrying, as you can see at this altar. I do some meditation work at this altar. I do some healing work. I connect with my ancestors. It just varies. This is very much an active working altar. Right now it's in its simplest stage because I'm not really doing any kind of working at the moment. Because if I was, you wouldn't be able, I wouldn't show you my altar if I was doing any kind of workings. So right now it's just, you know, not being used all that much except for like meditation, that kind of thing. So it's okay to show all of you. But I do have another altar that I use for different things. And I like to incorporate things that have some type of meaning to me, or something that it just feels right. And that could be anything from cards to shells, which I have right here. This actually came from the Bahamas. My last trip when I was in the Bahamas not too long ago, which I know you've seen a video of, that actually came from there. And this crow's foot is something that I use when I work with the goddess, with the Morgan. And then I have this bowl that I just recently got in Nassau. I do have sand that I've purchased from the, or I didn't purchase it, but I picked it up when I was there walking around and stuff. So I haven't put that on my altar yet. But at some point it will go there. So there are many things that you can add. I have jewelry that's sits on here all the time, and it's just different things. Feathers that I find, rocks that I find, crystals that I purchase, you know, it's anything and everything. But it's very much, it represents who I am and represents what I'm doing at that time. I do change it, you know, from time to time depending on what the time of the year is and what I'm working on. Like I said, right now I do have pink candles up. That's pink is kind of like my color. As you can see, also see by the walls, pink is just my thing. So I do use a lot of pink, and pink is for self-love and healing. For me, it's all about healing. I don't use it so much for self-love as much as I do healing, and it's just a color that I really enjoy. Pink has been my favorite, one of my favorite colors since I was a kid, and it's kind of carried through even now. So actually my entire space up here is a pink color, and it's actually based off of a nail polish color. So, but that's another topic for another day. So yeah, feel free to use whatever you want for an altar, and just make sure it's something that you love and something that you enjoy, you know. And you don't have to go out and purchase a lot of things for your altars. Some of the things that I have on my altar actually came from like secondhand stores sometimes. You know, like this little crystal bowl. It actually came from a secondhand store. It's not something that I purchased new. But you can also use household items that you have around your house. If you have a wine glass and you want to use it for a chalice, then by all means do so. If you have a flower pot that can be used as an offering bowl, then do that. Or if you want to put water in it or salt like this, I mean, you can use this. This actually came from, this was part of a flower pot and the top broke. So I'm going to repurpose this for something else for one of my altars. I mean, it's as simple as that. You can make things too. If you don't have, you know, a lot of money to do things, create your own things. You can create things from clay, or like if you want a wand, just go outside and find a branch that you are drawn to. Obviously you want to try to look for one that's already on the ground, but you can do that and bring things in from nature. I mean, that's one of the great things that you can do. It doesn't have to cost a lot to practice. So yeah, that's kind of what I have to say about altars and about my own altar. So I'd love to hear what you guys do for your altars, what you use, how you use them. If you have pictures, please share them. I'd love to see them. We do have a like page, which is the Moon like page. Please comment and share all of your things there as well. So I would love to hear what you have to say. So leave your comments below, and I will see you next week in the next video. Bye.